Yeah, I'll always be a metalhead. Nothing can take that away from me.
Right.
I mean, not jail, not people, not religion, not anything. I'll always be a metalhead. Metalhead leaves you all alive.
You're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Welcome back to the Great Metal Debate Podcast, bringing you another amazing metal album review. Today we'll be checking out the recent full-length release by U.S. metal crew Celestial Wizard titled Regenesis, released by Scarlet Records. Celestial Wizard is a band that incorporates both a very traditional heavy power metal approach, but also some death metal elements. That said, in my estimation, their sound isn't very mellow-deathy, or at least not the European brand of melodic death metal like classic Gothenburg bands out of Sweden, although it is also not particularly aligned with some of the innovative U.S. varieties like Aether Realm or Oak, Ash, and Thorn. They're more of a modern North American variant of power metal. Imagine Demons of the Astral Waste era Unleash the Archers, but with the ratio of harsh to clean vocals inverted. We'll get more into the particulars of Celestial Wizard's sound as we delve into the individual tracks, but stick a pin in that thought. Regenesis is the band's third album, preceded by A Sinister Awakening in 2018 and Winds of the Cosmos in 2022. The latest offering is their first with the good folks at Italian company Scarlet Records, with both prior albums being independent releases. Celestial Wizard has definitely upped their game on Regenesis, in going with an established metal label and what seems to me at least to be a much higher production value musically alongside more clean and vivid album artwork. Indeed, there's a brightness and energy to this effort that is very welcome and, while not entirely absent in the previous releases, is emphasized and more noticeable on the new one. Regenesis continues its predecessor's sci-fi fantasy gaming aesthetic, but this time with a Wild West flourish. Full disclosure that, for me, I'm not really a fan of the Americana cowboy vibe. From my perspective, at best, it evokes a country and western feel that strikes me as kind of homegrown cringe. At worst, it might tiptoe toward a disgusting, insular U.S. cultural exceptionalism that has found political expression in recent years. But I'll try to set that bias aside for the purpose of this review. Let's talk about the individual tracks. Following the acoustic strummed intro Muerte, and again, the pickin' and grin is just not a vibe I can get into. We have the full first track, Pale Horse. I really like the back and forth we get with the clean singing from guitarist Nick Daggers and growling and shrieking from frontman Amethyst Noir. The pacing is good, the guitars are clean, and composition flows well. The breakdown in the middle is a little chorish, but it really works well with the swing of the guitar lead break. Not gonna lie that the outro had me with my head in my hands, but the positives on this track absolutely outweigh the negatives. Song number 2 is Fang Bearer, and it is a banger. Upbeat with a catchy chorus and elegant guitar work. Drummer Tim Gilman does a great job nuancing the pace and mixing it up with the double bass kicking in at just the right times to give that extra oomph where needed. And in contrast to the previous song, Fang Bearer finishes in epic fashion, with the instruments in perfect unison and Noir choking out his last gutturalizations. Next up is She is the Blade, which is my favorite track on Regenesis, just a brilliant piece of modern power metal that masterfully blends aggression and melody. This is far better than anything we heard on the last UTA album. The main riff is very simple, but it is employed so well. And like in the first track, Noir and Daggers have divvied up the vocals in a way that appropriately plays to the strengths of each. Shores of Eternity starts with a beautiful strummed guitar and cello, I think that's a cello at least, maybe violin, and then goes right into some classic power metal guitar and singing on the versing. The chorus has Noir shrieking and shouting. I like this one a lot, especially that chorus, which moderates the tempo and with the guitar work coming across as almost counter-melody-ish. It's just a very enjoyable song and highlights a lot of what Celestial Wizard does well, which is thoughtfully mixing up the singing styles as well as changing gears instrumentally with powerful versus bouncy rhythms. We get a breakneck pace and a few nice lead fills on track 6, Into the Abyss. I can see this one being a great track to play live. Similarly, Ride with Fire has great energy and riffs that will be sure to stir the circle pit. There's also some low-key, intricate guitar work here and some compositional elements that show Celestial Wizard know how to write a good metal track. Wicked Master brings an infectious riff that is certain to have you banging your head, and, if not, you might want to consider surrendering your metal credentials. I thought the pre-chorus here could use a tad more work, but otherwise this is a 5-star track for sure. Mid-paced, but still plenty of energy exuded, and you can detect that bass line holding the tempo on low end. Noir's vocals are particularly aggressive on this one, and his emotion and passion come pouring through the mic in his delivery. Nearing the end, we get Emerald Eyes, which is more of a traditional rock metal ballad with no harsh vocals to be heard. There are some things to appreciate here. The vocal melody on the chorus is cool, and I really did enjoy the guitar lead break, but it's definitely not one of my faves. The record concludes with the title track Regenesis, likely not single material, but nonetheless a strong track and album outro. Exclusively harsh vocals on this one, except for a brief and well-placed choral touch. We get some nice power chordage here, but I also detect a hint of Omnium Gatherum-esque melodeath influence. While some tracks on Regenesis were stronger than others, there's good consistency throughout. All the tracks fall in that 4.5 to 5:45-ish minute length range, and stylistically, there isn't a ton of variation, with the exception of that ballad Emerald Eyes. But the quality and tone and production is great. Both Noir's growls and Dagger's clean singing is at a good place in the mix, consistently well performed, and you can definitely hear all the lyrics enough to shout along after a few listens. I wish the production had brought the bass guitar just a hint higher in places, but otherwise all the instruments sound amazing, and the music comes across as played together like a cohesive unit, which is something in recent years I think some bands struggle capturing in the studio. I'm quite impressed with Celestial Wizard and this new album Regenesis, having heard it, their back catalog, and with the opportunity to see them perform live last year at Mile High Power Fest. This is a band that exudes talent and potential. Regenesis is certainly the next step in unleashing that potential, but I have a sense they are not done on that journey, and that the seminal Celestial Wizard album is yet to be written. As much as I like Regenesis, I do truly get the hint of aspects to their sound and style that could be fleshed out into something truly groundbreaking. There are flashes of them bridging the power-melodeath divide in some unique ways that perhaps other bands haven't explored, and I'm intrigued in the future if they will choose to go down that rabbit hole to see where it goes. But for now, I'm pretty damn happy with this new batch of music from Celestial Wizard, and will give Regenesis an 8 out of 10 rating. One of the stronger releases I've heard in 2025, and certainly in competition to make my best albums list for the year. Regenesis from Celestial Wizard is released by Scarlet Records on July 11th. You can purchase the new album via scarletrecords.com, Bandcamp, and other places you know to find quality metal music.